We are live. Welcome everybody to Wednesday night chat. The
Hey everyone.
crew is here.
Hello. There are a bunch of people here.
Yeah.
Oh.
They were waiting at the door before you turned the sign around and said we are open.
I was running late.
Is it like a Black Friday thing where now we're gonna get stampeded?
I think a couple of people got trampled trying to get the flat panel. Dr. Von Schiller, he just walked over the whole pile to get to the TV.
He went to get the one with perfect centering.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. We have Bobby, TDKR, and then we have Scott. We have Knights of O. We have Scott Farr and another Scott.
A lot of Scots.
Hazel Dan.
Ray Berry, Dr. Von Schiller, and Hazel Dan. Okay, look like we have like about a dozen people already in the room.
Jason Smith's here. Here's Thomas Churchill.
Hey Tom.
Yes, my goodness. Yeah, I'm a bit under the weather.
Oh.
I don't think it's a flu, but of course there's a bat flu. I'm sure you all heard about the bat flu going around.
I thought
my parents had it.
I thought you were just choked up over the books you got.
That too.
Yeah, I got that's the last batch. I sent some pictures to you guys. That's the batch that came in. That might be the last batch for a while.
Never say never.
Never say never, but I did turn down a bunch of books last week.
No?
I just said that's it, no more. I can't take it anymore.
You mean you put in a bid for that 11,000 comic lot that you showed?
God no! Oh no!
Can you imagine that? Oh, that'd be a nightmare to me.
Yeah. So let's see. Dr. Von Schiller have a bunch of for those that haven't checked out Dr. Von Schiller latest videos, he had a whole bunch of sweet EC books.
He's crushing his list too.
I know. I mean,
ECs are very addictive.
Yeah.
Once you start getting a couple of them, you just keep going. It snowballs. I've noticed that more with ECs with any other publisher.
Yeah.
When I was buying ECs a few months ago, I wanted another one and another one. I'm like, oh, this one. I'm putting on a search for this one. It really becomes addictive, ECs. I don't know what it is, but
yeah. Jason Smith asked about the flu shot thing. Believe it or not, I have not had a flu shot in 16 years. The last time I had a flu shot was when I was in Boston before I got married and moved down here, and I got even sicker.
Sometimes that happens.
I read that this year's strain, they got it right, but that it's only 40% effective.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty damn low.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
That's CDC, so I don't know. I don't know. I guess so. If you were around a lot of people all the time, I think you got to get it.
Yeah. I mean, my wife is a very germ phobic, right? So she's constantly sanitizing and cleaning things, and we brainwashed Anthony into making sure that he does not touch his friends in school.
Don't touch them. Don't even look at them.
Anyone that sneeze, have runny nose, or cough or anything, stay away like they are the plague. Okay, do not. So, since I moved down here, neither Anthony or I have ever had the flu shot. So knock on wood, we're staying that way. I just have both he and I have like some kind of cold with the sneezy, but no fever, nothing. So it's not the flu.
I've been getting the flu shot since 1993, and I've had the flu maybe twice in that time frame.
Oh,
yeah. So you still can, as we talked about, you can still get it, just a lesser version of it.
Last time I had the flu,
I don't know what it is, but I've never had the flu.
Good for you.
Yeah. I don't think I've had a cold in probably 10 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I don't know.
The last time I had to take medicine for like a cold, anything, was probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh,
I've been pretty good. Now, the last time I had the flu was when I went on my honeymoon with my wife to Alaska.
Oh, geez.
It turned into a miserable trip because I was sick. And then I didn't know. I'm pretty healthy most of the time, so I didn't know I was allergic to penicillin.
Uh-oh.
So one of the things that they prescribed me on the ship was antibiotic, right? It turns out that there's penicillin in the antibiotic, and I went into a full allergic.
Yeah, anaphylactic shock almost.
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. After that, I'm just like,
I'm surprised they gave you an antibiotic when you have the flu, because that doesn't do anything for it.
Trust me, I don't know why, but that's when I found out that my body does not like penicillin.
Well, at least you survived the experience.
I did, but it turned into a miserable Alaska cruise. That's for sure. So what's going on? What's new this week? Anybody buy anything? And beside Dr. Van Schiller?
No, he bought everything. There's nothing left to buy.
He's buying for all of us.
He outbid all of us. All of us to all the EC books.
Yeah, let me tell you something. When it rains, it pours.
Yeah. Scott Fawcett, antibiotic don't work on anything viral. Correct. Yeah. I'm not sure. Well, long story, but the person that gave me the antibiotic had other motive.
Oh.
Okay.
Anthony can understand since he know my backstory more, but there are people in the circle that does not like me.
Oh.
Yes, I understand perfectly.
and they intentionally give me things that they know can kill me.
Oh.
But it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. And another attempt was, I was allergic to shellfish. Okay. I mean, if I eat shellfish, I blow up like, have you ever seen that movie?
Like a blowfish.
With Will Smith?
Yeah.
Yeah. That happened.
I think that's called Hitch.
Yeah, Hitch, correct. And one time in my first year of marriage, I ate something at my wife family get together. And shortly after that, I went into the full-blown.
Oh, they knew you were allergic to it.
That was an attempt.
Yes.
They knew.
They knew. And then my wife said, I told them you were. I'm just like,
now I understand.
Oh, is that why they gave me the penicillin a few weeks ago? And now they give me this. They're just trying to knock me out.
Here, eat these lead paint chips. They're delicious.
Yeah, and if he gets a little too sick, he might just tumble off the ship. Accidents happen.
Roll him out. Just roll him out.
Save on burial. They bury at sea.
Yeah, and the sharks might eat him, so there's no body. Sharks got to eat too,
As far as me buying stuff, there are some sweet stuff came in. I would maybe show up another time.
I picked up a few things this week, but all local. So,
did you guys see the AntMan trailer?
I did.
That looked pretty good, right?
That looked exciting.
That looked a lot of fun. I heard the buzz on Black Panther is awesomeness, so I'm excited. I mean, we haven't decided yet if we're gonna go see Black Panther in the fancy movie theater or the cheap movie theater. So,
or both.
If you like it that much, you could see it in the other one.
Well, we usually leave it to Anthony, and believe it or not, most of the time he said that's just too expensive. Let's go to the cheap one.
Good for him.
Yeah, the boy has some common sense. He doesn't just say that, hey, we have money, let's go spend $25 on a ticket and see a crappy movie. He understands that, hey, for the same $20 at the other place, we get movie tickets for 3 people. It's just like, why the heck would you do that? But Black Panther looked good. We might splurge and go see that at the fancy theater. But we'll see. That's
when does that come out?
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah, not next week, but the week, not this Friday, but the next Friday, I believe.
Oh, okay.
The 16th, I think.
Yeah, correct. That's
Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out after the Avengers movie, right?
Yeah, I think that comes out in July, right?
Yeah. But it looks like I don't know if the continuity is that way or not, or if it's before that event. But I guess we'll see. Either way, it looks cool.
Yeah, I'm psyched up for that, but I'm really psyched up for Avengers.
The way that they make them use their shrinking and enlarging.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Really, really cool. and it's a way that before the special effects that they have now, they couldn't have done years ago. So
No.
it's kind of good it didn't have to come out.
Yeah, they couldn't make a good Ant-Man movie many years ago. So now is perfect time to make it. And that could be said for a lot of superhero movies.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know, Tech 31 kid is in the house, and he's still looking for a Foom 10. So anybody have a Foom 10?
That's the first appearance of the real first appearance of the X-Men. The new X-Men.
Yes, first image of Storm and
Colossus, Nightcrawler.
Yeah. So anybody
second appearance, I guess, of Wolverine. I guess
I only have one, sadly. Not sadly, but I only have one. And then I have I do have two. The film with the Wolverine thing.
Oh yeah. Which one is that, Nick? What number? Is that
film 3?
Really? That much earlier?
3 or 4? I can pull it down. Take a look. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Sure.
My favorite Foom cover is the one with Jack Kirby on it.
Yeah, I have that one. Yeah.
That's just a great cover. And
yeah, that's actually somebody gave that to me as an act of kindness. So
wow. I have most of the Foom. Well, I had the first dozen. Here's the Foom 10 that Tech 31 talked about.
Oh yeah.
That one. Of course, the very first Foom. I have all the little stickers and nonsense on the family face.
Mm.
And it is number 2. I was even one off.
Oh. Oh, wow. Okay.
Because Foom 1 is when they announce the contest. Okay. And then Foom 2 is when people submit the contest. Remember, this only come out every 3 months. Okay, so between Foom 1, where they announce the contest, people have literally 10 weeks to submit their entries. So the entries was published in this and other issues.
So what's the story with it? What's the story with Wolverine in that?
Well, have you ever seen it?
No, I haven't. I heard of it, but I've never seen it.
It's silly. Trust me, it's so silly. To me, the best reason to own this magazine is the Steranko awesome cover. Okay? In all honesty, look at that.
It's really good.
That is a beautiful Steranko Hulk. That's the only reason. Hello, JLS in the house. Knights of O is in the house as well. But the silly thing is, it's not even Wolverine. It's just a name Wolverine. Okay?
Okay.
Some kid submitted a drawing and he named it right here. This panel right here.
Okay.
So as you can see, it's nothing about Wolverine. It's just say the Wolverine, and it has some guy that had like some kind of transformation, the suit.
Oh man, that's nothing like Wolverine.
Exactly. So the whole nonsense about you gotta get this.
That's like one of those like prototype things from the Silver Age. Well, you have the Aunt May, Uncle Ben prototype. We have the Doctor Doom prototype. You know, all that garbage that really isn't the real character.
Well, at least the Doctor Doom prototype look a little bit like Doctor Doom.
Yeah, and then there's Dr. Droom.
Dr. Droom, the first Marvel superhero.
Yeah. Someone in the chat said those are preview books and it shouldn't count. I kind of agree with that. Because there's Marvel Age that are like that too.
Well, one of the Foom, I think the Jack Kirby one has the first, it shows the cover of Marvel Preview 4, which is the first Starlord. So is that the first Starlord?
I guess.
Now, guess what?
Well, that means this rag that I picked up this week, this has something in it if there's a character in here.
Yeah.
You know, what's funny is, there's nobody talk about Starhawk.
Oh.
Nobody talk about Quasar.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know they were in that.
Yeah.
There's good reasons for that.
It's funny that, there are other names that they lift from these entries, okay? Like Starhawk, Quasar. But man, it's cute, but like I said, the best part is no doubt this Steranko drawing.
Yeah. He always draws Hulk very lean instead of thick-waisted like everyone else does.
Yeah. On top of that, you got this beautiful Mike Pluk Frankenstein in the back.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah. So
that's real nice.
There you go.
Is awesome.
So that's the reason to own this, not the Wolverine prototype.
No, I just like it for the nostalgia.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, for that matter, you know, Daredevil was at 115. Actually, is the first in comics image of Wolverine. So, I mean, you can go nuts with that. I don't know.
And same thing with Detective Comics 26.
Yeah.
Don't they mention Batman at the end of that? So it's could be the first mentioning of Batman
in type. Yeah.
There was what is the story about Spider-Man first introduced like long before Spider-Man exists in the Halloween costume? Have you ever heard the story?
No.
Somewhere, there's somewhere online where they show a Spider-Man. I read somewhere in some vlog, but somebody create a beautiful vlog, a fun reading vlog that show you in Halloween in some store back in the 60s, there was a costume, a Spider-Man costume for kids that called Spider-Man that looked a lot like Spider-Man.
Oh, wow.
Before Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko did Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's funny. You wonder if he saw that.
Yeah, so somewhere, you know, if anybody in the chat room know what I'm talking about or has seen the same thing I'm talking about, let us know, because I remember reading that a few years ago.
There's that cover, too, that Kirby did of the Fly, I think. And there's a spider creature in there. I remember the cover. Probably Tech Kid or one of those guys will know it, right?
Yeah, Splash Page Comics said that he saw that.
Okay.
There was on eBay. For one time, I saw on eBay someone selling that costume, that Spider-Man Halloween costume. That was a pretty cool thing to see on eBay. This is years ago. I can't remember when, but I remember reading that vlog and saw a listing a few months or weeks later, and I'm just like, wow, it does exist.
It'd be interesting to look that up on the internet to see the costume, see if there are actual pictures of it.
Yeah, it's I believe it's the same color, like red and blue.
Maybe they got their idea from that when the Stan pitched the idea.
Or he may not have even realized it. It's like today when people write songs and that English guy had to pay Tom Petty all that money because his song turned out to be the same thing, and he didn't do it on purpose. It just happened.
Yeah, see, Splash Page Comics said that he know what I'm talking about even more intimately, because he said that there's the word Spider-Man on top of the head of the costume. I remember, like I said, if you Google it, I'm pretty sure you might find it, because just Google Spider-Man Halloween costume, 1960 or something like that, it will pop up. Let's see. As far as the EC front, hopefully I will get around to shooting a video on the Mad comics.
Jason Smith said, "What's on the cover?" It looks like it's Wolverine's claws. It's a hunt for Wolverine.
Oh, that's right. He's supposed to be coming back, right?
Yeah. And then on the back, they're going to treat us to the 30-year anniversary of Venom. So apparently, every title is going to get Venomized
again.
Yeah, I looked through this. It's everybody's got giant, jagged teeth and 3-foot-long tongues.
Like Gene Simmons.
Yeah. Everything's super rad, man. I can't wait to read all these. Ugh.
No, it's funny, you know, when I thought about, you know, getting into EC, I was thinking, like, how do I remember we talked about, like 2 weeks ago, we talked about running a contest.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a bad idea, because if I run a contest that people know what I'm looking for, then there'd be more competition.
Yeah.
and then I was trying to throw some misdirection. Remember 2 weeks ago? I'm just like, I don't want the cover. I don't want the guy to shoot his head. I don't want it.
I passed on purchasing that book recently. The crime suspense stories. Yeah, the one with the suicide cover.
I'm just like, in hindsight, I'm just like, maybe I should have even said I was going to EC.
So, I mean, okay, now that you got an EC, Mad, are you going to be getting another one sometime soon? Or
yes, correct.
Okay.
Splash Page Comics said that if you type in Spider-Man Costume 1950,
Oh.
You will see that. So it go back even 10 years earlier. So who knows who got the idea from what or when, but
it was 62 that came out, right? Amazing Fantasy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like February, something like that. Yeah.
Yep. So interesting. Like I said, who knows? Like I said, I just think it's one of those tidbit that is interesting to the history of Spider-Man. I think I'm surprised that it's not more well known. Because as big as Spider-Man has been, I'm surprised that whoever that invented that costume back in 1950 didn't sue.
Yeah.
That's my idea. It's my idea.
Maybe they did sue and we just don't know.
Yeah, and Marvel just crushed them.
Yeah. Or pay them off.
Yeah, pay them off.
Pay them off to be hush, hush.
Yeah, cheaply.
To answer your question, Anthony, yes, I have had EC in the house. I'm just waiting for the right time to show them off.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in seeing them.
Well, I put together a list of 25, right? And right away, when I put together that list last year, like last October, November, I start to go for them. Well, I start to go for timely. I start to look for them more seriously as far as timely and EC.
Mm-hmm.
But my rule. My rule is I don't show something until it's 3 months later.
No, I think that's a good rule. I very rarely show things until 3 months later too when I buy off the internet. Books that I usually buy that I show immediately are probably from cons or local stores or whatever.
That's when I show stuff. So.
Yeah, like the Hulk. I bought that at my local comic book store. Mm-hmm. If I had purchased that on eBay, you wouldn't see it till August or maybe December.
Yeah, I wait 3 months in general. So think about this: if I show the 2018 list in November, like late November, right, when I did the video and show it, that means that February would be the earliest time I will pop out some EC book. And I try my best to throw out some misdirection, like it's my way to trying to like lessen the competition. Like I love Jack Davis, right?
Yeah,
no doubt. Jack Davis has some of my favorite cover of EC, but if you look at my list of 25, he's nowhere near the top 3.
Well, is Johnny Craig probably on the top 10?
Well, all the one that we all know, but like I said, many of the things that I talk about is just like misdirection on what I'm looking for, because then other people will, I don't want people to compete on other things.
I don't think there are going to be too many people that are going to be able to compete with you with some of those ECs, Nick. Yeah, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, because those ECs, ECs, even in low grade, they're pricey.
Yeah,
they're very pricey. At the same time,
I understand. I get you. I get you.
I try not to overpay for them, and for the most part, I've been pretty lucky. I think I did good because I on the average, I don't think I pay more than $120 for them. So it's not.
No, that's good.
So it's not like I went out there and like I'm gonna go and buy the highest grade for $400. No, that's not me.
You're not gonna get a Gaines file copy.
I'm not getting a Gaines file. I'm not buying any slabs. Not because I hate slabs, but I just have more fun with the raw books.
Well, especially those books. You get to flip through them and look at them and admire the art, especially if you're a Jack Davis fan. You're getting some Jack Davis penciled stories and so forth. So, yeah, I would want them raw, too.
Now, there was a question in the chat room about what's the top 3 DC book, top 3 EC book, in your opinion. Now, we all agree that the Decapitated Head.
Yeah.
Is that Crime Suspense Story 6?
22.
22, okay.
Get it right.
Obviously, I don't
Ed would be pissed off at you right now.
Obviously, I don't have
the decapitation cover, I would say, yeah, it's probably one of the most infamous.
But what would be the other 2? Clear cut on the number 2 and 3.
When it comes to covers,
yeah,
I would think, I could be wrong, I would think the Shock 6 would probably be up there.
Yeah, the one that's the Bollywood one, right?
Yeah, and probably it would most. I'm thinking it's another crime because those were some of the.
Not the one with the head.
No, not that one. I think there was one where they were all. There was a hanging one, and then there was one where you saw people's legs hanging. I mean, a lot of those are very infamous.
What issue is that?
The one with the hanging.
Yeah, there's people hanging on meat hooks.
Oh yeah. Shit, I don't know.
That's a pretty infamous one. I've seen that one. It's really gruesome.
Yeah, it's pretty. And there's another one where a guy's like maniacal looking, and he obviously is cutting somebody up in a bathtub.
Yeah,
I mean that's another one that's pretty, you know. But the thing is that all the ones we mentioned are non-horror ones. They're all crime ones. They're shock, which is I guess not really horror, but I would say that those are some of the more infamous ones. And then you get, of course, to some of the tales and that the censored covers. Trying to think of a tales that's infamous, but not necessarily. I don't know there are too many that are infamous in tales. Famous, but not infamous.
Dr. Van Chilla said that he bought Crime Suspense Story number 17.
Is that the hanging one?
And Weird Science Fantasy number 29.
17 is the suicide. I don't think he's committed suicide. I think someone's actually shooting him. I think that's 17. Is that correct, John?
We'll see.
That's a suicide cover, isn't it?
No, it's a suicide cover.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it suicide? Yeah. It's a suicide, yeah.
Because if you look at the mirror behind him, that's the one where in the mirror behind him you see the reflection of him holding the gun.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's a suicide one.
But I would definitely say Shock 6 is probably one of the maybe top 5. The Ku Klux Klan cover, Bollywood. That's infamous.
Yeah. For me, the decapitated head one, that's easy number 1, right? Because
I
can remember number 22. I'm like, duh. Obviously, I don't have a copy.
I want a copy, but the only one I could afford is probably a 1.5.
Yeah, there is a 1.5 out there in the market, and it's just ugly.
I know, and that's why I ain't getting it.
I think you guys, if you go out to the shows, and not the big shows, the smaller, like regional ones, I see EC books a lot when I'm at those.
I was at a show on Sunday, and I saw quite a few. I saw the suicide one. I saw the one where they're in the tub, and the guy's, I guess, preparing to chop the body up. I saw that one, and a few others too. And
the deal is usually, if you ask to see them, they're like, "Really? You want to look at it?" Because they don't get asked that a lot. So if
unless they're announcing something with a movie, then they're like, everyone wants to see them. Then, oh yeah, I've always been a fan of EC. Ooh.
It'd be great if they brought Creepshow back, the TV show. That would be really cool. I think, especially now, they could do it so well. And HBO is very good at making shows, so that'd be really cool if they brought that back. But,
yeah, for me, the outside of the decapitated head one, the EC cover that I tend to remember the most is the Frazetta cover.
Which one is that?
The Weird Science Fantasy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That one is really nice.
Yeah.
Frazetta did a few cover for Weird Science, I think.
Yeah.
One other one, which is not all that special. To me, if I could get my hands on some famous funnies, I love to get those, but those are crazy expensive.
Yeah, because Weird Science was called something else first, right? And then it changed to Weird Science?
A lot of those EC titles changed over time. I think Weird Science.
Adult science fantasy or something
it had something weird like that. Hence the name Weird Science.
Yeah.
No, Tales from the Crypt. I think it didn't start as Crime Patrol. It started as something else. Then it became Crime Patrol. Then it became the Crypt of Terror. Then it became Tales from the Crypt. Vault of Horror was War Against Crime. I believe that's what it was originally called. Then it became Vault of Horror with number 12. Haunt of Fear was always Haunt of Fear. And but a lot of those ECs, they went through different changes when it came to titles, and it can be confusing. Like, what's Tales from the Crypt #1? Well, there is no Tales from the Crypt #1. It's really number 20 would be the first Tales from the Crypt. But it can be a little confusing.
Yeah, the Dr. Von Chile is going to a convention in Pennsylvania this week.
Is that Monroeville DVC?
He say it's Central PA.
Yeah, I think that's the one they call Monroeville.
Is that the one where they filmed Dawn of the Dead?
Well, that's in a small town called Butler.
Oh, okay.
Which is near Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
Look like Bobby TDKR will be at the show with Dr. Von Chile, so there'll be at least 2 YouTubers hanging out.
Well, don't get too up in his face, because Dr. Von Chile doesn't like that too much.
People get starstruck when they get in his presence.
Yeah, you might get a bunch of F-bombs thrown at you.
What are you doing in my space?
Oh no, just a big fan.
Yeah, that was a funny story.
No, it's
Oh, Harrisburg, Hershey. That's a ways away. It's close to you, Anthony.
Hershey.
Yeah.
Hershey, Pennsylvania. Really? Well, then you might have to go and meet up with Dr. V.
When is this con?
This weekend.
On Sunday?
Let's see. Eric K told me there's a huge antique and collector show in Central Florida in February.
You should go to that, Nick. You'll get all the ECs you can handle.
We'll see. I don't get to
dust off that backpack and hit the road.
It's all come down to what's going on with my family, because for sure they don't want to go. So
that might be the end of that.
I think some video of you at a con would be awesome.
Yeah.
You haven't been in a while, right?
Last time I went to a con was 2010.
That was the San Diego one, right?
I went to the San Diego one, and I went to one of the last Tampa Bay Con before they went big.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the last Tampa Bay Con is for years and years and years. Tampa Bay have a convention every 3 months, and it's in this like rundown, like veteran kind of hall. It's not very big, and it's like it's so small. You can literally walk through and see all the booth in about 15 minutes.
Good dealers, though.
But the only dealer that I remember seeing every time I go is Crazy Ed from Florida, from Miami.
I don't know him.
No, I don't.
But the thing is, the parking lot is so small that you have but that's the last time. My wife did go with me, and we walked around twice, and I stopped to look at a couple books. It was not very crowded, so you had to fight through a lot of people. And then that was it. There was nothing. Everything was crazy price and nothing. And
I took my wife to a con a few years ago. Now she wants to go again. She's interested in getting back into it with me. But I first took her about 4 years ago. And we're walking around, and she just comes up to me and says, "Can we get the hell out of this freak show?" And we left. And that was that.
So you were married by that time?
Almost divorced after that, but
that was before Reaper, little Reaper.
Oh, for Little Reaper, you'll know the booth he's at, where the whole thing, the walls tumbles down and cracks Marvel Comics #1 on the floor, and the guy's looking for me to pay for it.
Yep, that'll be the time. You'll be liquidating your collection.
So
Little Reaper's not going anywhere.
my wife actually enjoyed the show. She had a good time. This is when Anthony was like 3 years old. We got a babysitter, so she went with me, and that was her first con outside of San Diego Comic Con, which we went 3 months earlier, and that was a disaster. I hated everything about San Diego Comic Con. So crowded, so crazy.
And you probably wouldn't like New York then.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't. The older I get, the less I care to deal with crowds.
Yeah,
crowds don't bother me. It's standing in lines.
Oh, I hate lines.
Well, the thing with San Diego Comic Con is, I'm sure nothing has changed in the past 7 years. It's crazy crowded to get inside.
Yeah.
it's crazy crowded to go through the escalator and walk through all that, right? Because you get to the comic section, at least 7 years ago, you had to go through the movie section, the toy section, the anime section.
This is like the quest in Lord of the Rings.
You literally you had to
fight to the mountain.
Yeah, you had to fight through all of that crowds.
All that humanity, all those mouth breathers.
Yeah.
And you get
all those people breathing down your
all the backpacks, you know, and then when you get to the comic book section, I swear to God, there was no outside of Mile High, which have probably the biggest booth of all comic dealers, with tons of $1 box and $5 box and whatever it is. Mile High probably have like 24 people as far as customer in that booth, because they have this long. Their booth is like 20 yards.
Mm-hmm.
It's huge. But once you get past Mile High, the majority of the dealer have no more than 2 customers.
Yeah.
There was literally nobody. I mean, I remember walking past all the dealer, and I'm just like, my God, it's like dead zone, I mean, and then you look at the price and just like, okay, because these guys paid $10,000 to be here.
Oh yeah,
that's right. To, like, mark things up to make the money. So it was ridiculous. I mean, I see things that are like 20% over GPA, everything, and I'm just like, I'm moving on. I did not even stop and look at anything. I walk slowly, look at the wall prices. I have an idea of what the price should be, and everything that I saw was like 20 to 25% above fair market value. I'm just like,
yeah,
I'm done, and I'm so it was such a disappointment. And
well, yeah, with those big cons though, they're definitely marking everything up. I mean, that's the downside of going. You go to them to maybe find books that you normally don't find. At least that's what I like to do, and be part of the experience. But when you find them, a lot of the times they're marked up, and the deal that they give you is really no deal. It's probably what you should be paying for, or around that price to begin with.
Yeah, and the thing that I remember the most was, I'm not going to say the name of these dealers, but I stopped by 3 dealers' booth. And these are well-known dealers. They are well-known on the CGC forum.
Yeah.
And the 3 of them was too busy talking to each other that they couldn't even stop and say hi to me.
Yeah.
When there was no customer, okay? There are 3 dealers that have no customer in their booth looking at anything. Here I am standing there say, hello. And after like standing for 5 minutes and listen to them yip yap and talk and look at their cell phone, I'm just like, screw you guys. I'm done. I'm out of here. Mm. If this is what San Diego Comic-Con is all about, goodbye.
Yeah, I really only go to if I can meet the creators. That's the best part. I think someone in the chat was talking about that's why they go. And I love going to see it, because most of the ones I go to now, it just seems like they're dominated by sci-fi. And people are so into the science fiction end of things, or the movie end of things, or they're buying Funko Pops, or they're not into the comics themselves. So a lot of times these, especially the older creators, they're usually sitting all alone at a table drinking a cup of coffee, and they will talk to you. And I met Bob McLeod, and he asked me to come sit down with him because no one else was sitting next to me.
Will you talk to me?
Yeah, I sat next to Bob McLeod for an hour and a half, and he told me all about how we created the New Mutants and just all this other stuff he talked about. So it was great, and the show was terrible. I think I bought 3 books, and that saved the show for me.
Yeah, I would like to meet Joe Jusko. He's the reason why I found an interest in collecting comics through those cards.
Yeah, I met him a lot.
I heard he's nice.
Yeah, he's really nice.
I would like to talk, say, hey, you're the reason why I'm into comics, and as he probably gives me a funny look, and like,
No, he's very
approachable. I got really into comics because, I mentioned before that I started collecting those Marvel cards in '92, and he drew the whole set. He sketched the whole set, and I looked at the cards and I thought the artwork was so great, and reading the back of the cards, learning about the characters, seeing their first appearances got me, into say, maybe I should get a couple comics, and that's his history.
That's funny. I thought maybe you got into comics because of the video games, possibly, but
no, it's sort of like they coincided. When I started getting into comics, like the X-Men game came out, the Spider-Man game came out, and like, oh, I had more of an interest in getting these games and playing them and seeing the characters. And when I learned about the characters from some of the video games, like Venom and Spider-Man, I was like, ooh, I'd like to see if I can get Venom comics, and, you know, his first appearance. And they actually worked well together, games and comics for me.
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine though back then, like the movies that we have today. I would have been in paradise seeing the movies of today back then. I'd be like,
well, that's why sometimes they might not be perfect, they might not be great. Like if you watch Avengers, the first one again now, it is pretty, it's not great. But I just remember sitting in the theater and it's dark, and as the title came up, just the sheer, I waited 40 years for that to be made. You know, and there's so much garbage we had to go through to get to that point.
Yeah, yeah. I'm literally looking forward to the new Avengers. I mean, that's the movie of the year for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, I you know, like I said, ever since my experience in 2010 at the convention, you know, I kind of just like, forget it. You know, and like I said, it's easier for me to buy online or talk to a dealer on the phone or something. You know, so. If I ever go to a convention, I most likely would rather go to like a meet and greet kind of thing, to like meet up with other YouTubers.
Yeah.
Over dinner and have a beer or something. I wouldn't mind doing that, you know, than go to a convention and go inside, because really I literally do not want to buy anything.
Yeah. I this weekend I went to a convention with her collects comics, Andoni. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I enjoy. Yeah, I've met up with him several times, but it's always nice to see him. And yeah, like what Nick is saying, you know, I went to the con. I didn't think I was going to get anything because, you know, I did get the Incredible Hulk. But it's just hang out with a cool guy and just relax and go out to eat and all that stuff. Check out his local comic book shop. You know, that sort of stuff is fun.
Did you buy anything?
No, I didn't buy anything.
Oh.
I was, you know. No, that's when I saw those ECs, and I thought a lot of them were very overpriced.
Were there any good creators there?
No. It was just a little con, like the ones I used to go to when I was 13, 14, like in a little hotel room, maybe about 10 dealers, local dealers. You know, they had some
of those, so because that's where I got Iron Man 1. There's two brothers that came up from Pennsylvania, and they had never done a show. And it was one of those little Marriott shows, and they had one table and one thing behind them with about 50 wall books, but they were all nice 7.0 better, very well priced, and those guys sold probably over half of what they brought. And there were other dealers that I see there at all the shows, and they didn't sell squat. So
yeah, I mean, some of these dealers, you wonder, do you want to sell this book or not?
Is it a museum, or are you here to sell stuff? I
mean, Jesus Christ.
Like you're doing a crossword or something, and they look up, and you have to like beg them, can I see that book?
An example, an EC book, Tales from the Crypt 26. It's a Wally Wood cover, okay? It's not a famous Wally. I don't think it's a famous Wally Wood cover, but it's a Wally Wood cover. And the cover, the book looked like it was in the sun for a couple of years. It was bleached, and the guy wanted well over $200 for it. On top of it, it was probably like maybe a 3.0, and I'm like, what? I mean, I didn't say that to him. You know, I don't want to be rude. I looked at the price and I handed it back to him, and he was trying to, like, you know, justify it, because he probably sensed that I looked at the price and I'm like, are you out of your freaking mind, you idiot?
At least that's when you throw a guy an offer.
Well, I didn't want to offer anything on that. I'm thinking like $70.
I would have said that to him.
But it was $200. I didn't want to insult him that much.
Yeah, that's tough. That's
tough to do by pricing it that way.
How about 70?
There you go.
There you go. I could do 190.
$70 and I won't flip your table.
You know, I don't think I have ever offered less than half of anything that anyone has ever offered me.
Yeah.
Even regardless of how crazy overpriced things are.
Yeah.
I think the most I have ever offered is like half. Like, if someone,
and what happened? Did you get?
The guy told me I was crazy. It's like he said you're crazy. You know, this is years ago, but I'm just like, well, that's all I have. You know, that's my my go-to. It's just like, this is all I have.
It's all I have.
I might have a wad of like $1,000 in my pocket.
Yeah, yeah. He pulls out his. He's like, okay, I'll take it. Then he pulls out that big wad of cash. He's like,
well, the trick is here's the convention trick. The trick is you walk up to the booth, you look at the books, you know exactly what it is. Right? Let's say you see a book on the wall, and it's like $300, and you win the offer $150. Make sure you have $150 in your hand. Put that wad of money away in your pocket, and then you go up there and say, "This is all I have left, all my money." So either
you start counting it like
in my pocket, or I'm out of here.
I might use that next time, Nick.
But that's my go-to tricks. Okay, that I'm just like, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You know, it's like I said, it's no guarantee whatsoever. I just know that, you know, often when I bundle things, it works the best. But that's not easy because, you know, to find a dealer that have, say, 4 or 5 or 6 things you want, it's never easy.
Yeah. But most of the time, though, when I do try to barter with dealers, I try to be reasonable. Let's say if they're selling a book for $150, I mean, I say I'll give you $125 cash. I mean, I think that's pretty reasonable. I mean, you know, cash. You know, they don't necessarily like if you use credit card. I tried that with one guy, and he was just like, you know, no, and I'm like, ugh, well, DJ coward-looking bastard.
Slap the cash. You gotta slap that cash. The cash money.
You know what? You know, these days you gotta go there and just say, I had some Bitcoin.
Oh yeah. I promise North Korea didn't hack it.
I have Bitcoin.
Mm.
Are you willing to sell that book for 2 cents a Bitcoin?
And here you go.
Well, you know, its penny of Bitcoin is worth $100. So give or take, you know, so if you say 2 cents of Bitcoin, I mean, it's $200. So
they probably look at me like I was crazy. Like,
yeah, some youngster dealer might say,
yeah,
you got some
yeah, that's true.
You got some Bitcoin. Let's do some transaction right now. Let's beam that Bitcoin over here. My virtual wallet is ready for your Bitcoin.
If you're just trying to make deals, usually if it's a 3-day show, Sundays, you know, afternoon is the best.
You're right.
Those guys, they're all right now. They're thinking how much they have to carry back to their van and how much they paid for that table. They may not have made enough to cover. They got indigestion from the horrible pizza they ate.
Oh yeah, all that other crap.
Yeah. They've been beaten down by every mouth breather, you know, Gino's pizza roll eaten with a backpack on for 3 days. And if you make a somewhat decent offer, they take it. I
told you that story, though, the last con I went to. Me and my friend Michelle, our backs were killing us. Sat down in the cafeteria. All of a sudden, her nose is like, and I was like, what? And then as I started to get up, I was like, oh. Yeah. It was like someone just shot out pure methane. All that food, that bad food that goes around.
Now, does Tim have a show at 8:30 today? I haven't seen him popping in. So
I haven't seen him pop in either.
Who?
Tim Tebow.
Oh, Tebow?
He gave up after that extravaganza last week.
He still pooped.
Yeah, that featured Nick in bed. That was a little odd.
No, I was laying in bed and
you needed a silk jacket though.
That's what I told him. I told him next time I'm wearing my silk robe and and dim the light.
No. Put on some Johnny Mathis records in the background.
Yeah, you know, but no, it's 7:50. We got 10 more minutes to go.
Oh, geez, 7:50 already?
I know, time flies when you're having fun. Jesus. Other than that, hopefully this weekend I will have time, or maybe not this weekend. Sometime maybe next week, I plan to shoot a for sales video. I figure I will do another sales video maybe the first week of February.
Any preview of what you're going to be selling?
It's gonna be there's gonna be mostly raw book this time. Mostly it's just like I pull out some stuff.
Yeah, let's say some stuff.
Low grade, mid grade stuff. Let's see.
Right up my alley.
There's like a SpiderMan 42.
That's pretty cool.
There's an FL 42. Look at that, 242.
Oh, whoa! Is this coincidence?
Yeah,
sense a new video series coming up.
It's coincidence, but in fact, I just realized it right now at this moment that they both 42. How weird is that, huh?
Yeah.
That was like your classic video, 3 is a magic number. Wasn't that the one you did?
55.
Was it 55? Yeah, I remember you did that video.
I was gonna do a lot more of those videos, but I just got tired of trying to do it because, you know, if you pick up any numbers, no, not any numbers, but there's a lot of books that, you know, if you pick, let's say 121, right? You get a bunch of them that are important, like, you know, like Batman 121, SpiderMan 121. So there's a whole bunch of books that, you know, if you pick a certain number, not the 50 or 100, because those are, you know,
milestone.
Yeah. Or like number 1, you mean?
Yeah. That's a good video series, though, Nick. You know.
Yeah, but you pick, like, there's a lot of weird things where you pick, like, you know, like say 121 or 55. Like, you know, 55, you get Iron Man 55. You have I forgot, but
like 181.
Yeah.
You got Batman 181. You got Hulk 181.
Avengers 181.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. Like I said, I did one, and I'm just like, it was so much work to.
You know what? Then do it as a tag. Then make other people do it to see how many numbers come out.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I did. I think 55 because what I did was I take the song "Magic Number."
Yeah, from Schoolhouse Rocks.
And then I perfectly insert the word 55 in the right spot. But it took me forever to do that, you know. And I'm just like, oh my God, if I had to do this for every video, like 121, I'm like, oh, forget it. I'm too lazy. So that's a preview of those 2 silver. And then I have, I want to basically get rid of my Tomb of Dracula run. So I had like a whole bunch of Tomb of Dracula that's like high grade, like raw books.
Oh, very nice.
They're like, you know, some of these like 9.4, 9.
My favorite Tomb of Dracula is number 50.
What's up with number 50?
It's Silver Surfer.
Oh.
Yeah, I do not have that one. I have 49.
Oh.
Close enough.
But like I was looking on eBay, and like some of these books, like that's like 9.4, 9.6. People are paying $100 for a slab. That's crazy.
I think
that I'm in that kind of condition, though, is what's happening now.
Well, the reason why I haven't shot the video yet because I need to go through eBay and look at the price of, like, let's say this one, like issue 58, I think. No, maybe 28. Yeah, it was 28. A 9.4 sold for over $125 on eBay. I'm like, what? Well, this is a raw 9.4. I probably would list this for like $25. Okay, a fifth.
I picked up this week.
Oh, nice.
You got that. So that was.
It was like the back of that.
And then so all the high grade books I will sell like individual because they might be for like $10 to $25, and then I have a stack of like low mid grade. So I might sell that in like a big lot, issue 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all that stuff, except for 10, of course.
Is 10 in there?
Yeah.
But so that's part of the thing. And
is 10 going for a lot of money nowadays?
Which one?
Is 10 going for a lot of money nowadays?
Grade, yeah.
Yeah.
I think a 9.0 might go for $400.
Well, I saw something. There's going to be a Blade 4 now, right? Isn't it?
Is it? Yeah, I don't know.
No, I think there is. I think Wesley Snipes finally served his sentence from tax evasion or whatever.
Now we can make Blade 4 now. He's out.
We can make Blade 4 now. Nick, you're not cooking Sunday, right? It's Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's Super Bowl Sunday, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what our plan is, whether friends are coming or we're going to someone else's house or what. So yeah, right now I don't have any plan to do any cooking on Sunday.
Right. Patrick, you're going on vacation. When are you going on vacation, Patrick? What day?
I fly out Saturday morning. So.
Oh, okay. Well, have a safe flight.
Yeah, I'll be in Phoenix, Scottsdale, Sedona, and hopefully going to the Grand Canyon. So I'm going to do a lot of remote videos. And if we happen to pass by a comic collectible shop, I'm going to stop in and I might do some live streaming, something I've never done. So Alex this week, Alex the Comic Reporter, he did a video, and I don't think he's done very many of, where he recorded it and he had to edit it afterwards. So in the comments, I was joking with him that maybe I'll do a live thing because I've never done one. So that might be fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone would be on there with me, but
well, Bobby asked me if I have issue 2 or 20, and the answer is I do have issue 2. It's about a 6.0.
That's a nice cover.
Yeah, it's a nice cover. This one's about a 6.0.
Look at the mist and everything. That's a great cover.
It just have an 1.5 inch corner crease on the bottom right, but you know it's nice.
Yeah.
Who stole Dracula's coffin? Is that what it is?
Who stole my coffin? Yes, that's what.
That would be me.
So
that's where I sleep at night.
So I have a whole bunch of stuff.
It's just so comfortable.
Yeah. Actually, inside of a coffin is really not so comfortable.
Really?
Oh yeah. I've tried it.
I never hear any complaints.
No, they don't really complain that much.
No. But you know what? Look up what Dead Ringer means if you want to read something truly horrific.
A Super Bowl snack cooking show would be cool.
I think so, yeah.
We'll see. Like I said, I don't really have any, to be honest, usually the thing that I cook the most at most Super Bowl, because I'm a huge fan of chicken wings, is usually chicken wings, so.
I can't do anything on the bone.
But that's usually, and I figure if I'm going to do that again, I won't bother to do a video, because does anybody need to watch a video of chicken wings? Not really,
Jesse's still after his Hulk 181, I think.
Well, good luck to you, Jesse. I know that's your #1 thing. I forgot. What grade was it that you're looking for? A 6 or 7 or 8? Or you want to go for a big one?
9.6?
9.6, 9.8?
I'd be happy with a 6, 6.5.
I got a 6.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah. So we'll see. Like I say, I need to do some price research on all these books before I can do a video for sale. Pain in the ass.
I have a bunch of CGC stuff coming back all through February, because it's different tiers.
Yeah.
It got put in, and then I met with my buddy yesterday and gave him a dozen more books. So
good.
I should have a lot of CGC stuff coming back, and hopefully I'll be able to turn that into funds to get the other stuff that I want to get. So, and I got a book off my 2018 list that I'll show on Friday.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's a lot. Most likely, it's going to be all raw stuff. Like I said, even like these Tomb of Dracula in high grade. What I might do, just to make
bundle them.
No, I might just throw all 10. I have like maybe how many issues is this? This is all like 9.2 to 9.6 range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have like 8 high grade book, and then I will sell the high grade lot in one lot and the low mid grade in another lot. And for these 8 books, I might just say $100. I don't care. I'm sure I paid less than $100 for everything over many years ago. So
that's a good deal, because online those are going for 15 to 18 a piece. So yeah,
like I said, somebody just paid $125 for this book. So
yeah,
that's crazy. I'm just like, and the thing is, not even buy it now. It was like a couple bid. Like, so a few people fought over a copy of this book for $125. Come to ETA, Nick, and you can get it for $25, and you can still read it. Stupid mofo, a freaking slab for $125.
All right. I'm going to show it only because Dr. Von.
Oh, you're going to show one of the books off the top 2018?
Yep.
Oh, Batman Foe. Oh, Detective Foe too.
It is beautiful.
Great cover. Yeah.
My buddy, he picked it up for me. He was at a shop. He texted me and said he found it. And then he cleaned it and pressed it.
It's beautiful, Patrick.
It's really great.
Really nice. I love that cover.
It has one little defect in the corner. That's about it. It's beautiful. It's a great job on it. I love this cover. I think it's pretty underrated.
Well, folks, it's 8 o'clock. it's time to say goodbye.
Another good show, guys.
See you next week without Patrick.
Unless I can find a very good connection.
I was
did last time. I was in Pennsylvania and I was able to connect. So
yeah,
I will send the invite regardless, and if you can jump on, you can jump on.
All right.
Bye bye.
Good night.
Okay,